Peace. What's going on? All right, how's everybody doing? It's Claude Ketchum, aka Abdul Kabir, aka Daniel Lucas. Assalamu alaikum to all your YouTube characters, Facebook, or whatever. So, I went on ahead, I went and purchased the Atlas Gold MP-36-3C in HO scale. Now, unlike, stock, what most people have already done their review and they, just basically describe their less than stellar, what they thought is less than stellar in detail. Okay, it's a great mechanism, far different from Trueline. And the way I'm going to do my engine, number 418, okay, it's a little bit different. I've already started. Okay, so just to give you a rundown, I put the scale coupler on the front, as well as I did straighten out the couple of lift bar. I gotta adjust it a little more. Also, I went on ahead and I added depth to the grills. Okay, that was another thing that a lot of people had a pet peeve in. Okay, so the fans and stuff have a bit of depth to it, as well as the exhaust stack. Another project, what I'm gonna do with this engine, okay, the rear step well. Okay, that rear step well, no, that's not prototypical to Metra's MP-27, MP-36-3Cs. Again, the generator grill to the back stuff, that right there has, I added depth to all the grills. Because, all that silver all through there, it just was too cheesy for me. So, without further ado, let's talk about the sounds. The lights, okay, let's talk about the lights first. So, the thing about the lights, okay, I was not, and of course, like other modelers, we're not a fan of, the blue, white lights. Stuff, the headlights, as well as the ditch lights. They're supposed to be golden white, okay, like they're incandescents. So a lot of people got a problem with it. Another thing is the gyro light, as well as the number board, come on simultaneous. Now the gyro light also supposed to have some kind of depth to it, okay, because the light is actually, inside of some kind of housing. Where this right here, what Atlas just did, they kind of went the cheap fashion and, kind of like put I had this right here, right there on the nose, instead of a light bulb, instead of the bulb recessed in the back, an LED to the back and a window right there. Well, that's not the case of Atlas and stuff. But, for what I paid, $314 because of New York State tax, you know what I'm saying? And, for what I paid for, and I'm quite certain that everybody that's purchased this locomotive has paid for It's a lot of money for this commuter engine. Now, I do a lot of commuter modeling. I wanted to do Chicago. I'm going to do Chicago. In fact, I'm waiting for Rapido to come out with their Winnebago and their cars, just as I'm waiting for Atlas to come out with their, more modern version of the cars. The separation lines from the orange striping to the chevron shaped safety scheme right here. Okay, it's kind of like phased in, kind of like, soft phased instead of the sharp contrast on the prototype. So that's another issue, but hey, like I said, it's a far cry from what we got from True Line, you know what I'm saying, and stuff. And the problem with Atlas is that it's cookie cutter, okay? Now, this engine right here would have been perfect, undecorated for a freelance railroad. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about the rear stepwell, okay, we can get away with that. Another thing is, this engine also lacks capacitors. So, now mind you, I don't got a problem with the sound, the bell. I mean, it's quite quiet. The horn. The bell and horn come simultaneous, as well as the ditch lights oscillating when the horn is on and whatnot. Again, what I did was I went on ahead and I added a shelf coupler also to the back. This is going to advance forward. I do like the rev up. The brake squeal. I did add the shelf coupler to the back. Okay, I got a stockpile of couplers in my stash, and what they are, basically, those couplers out there, I have shelf couplers, short shank or whatever, because in the anticipation when the cars come out, because this engine is definitely going to be dedicated to the cars. You know what I'm saying? To those cars of Metro. Another thing, I cut off the plastic safety chain and I added a real scale chain onto the back. All right, and stuff. So I'll shut it down right quick. First, I'm gonna go ahead and reverse it right quick. And we're going to look at the other side. So what we're going to do, okay. Oh, also another thing, you know what I'm saying, they do have the marker lights. Okay. They do have the marker lights, and you know what I'm saying. Again, my displeasure would be that the gyro light and the number boards, you know what I'm saying, they're not independent. They come on simultaneous, and that right there, the cab light is a cab light and stuff. What's that? The third. Excuse me, I've been at work all night and stuff. So right now I'm off the clock. But I want to go ahead and give my 2 cents on this locomotive. So what we're gonna do, I'll shut it down. Also, it's got the head and power generator on, as you can hear. This engine does not have a capacitor. That's another thing. Now, another argument from a lot of modelers is that the engine does not, it's basically, when Atlas purchased the molds from Truline Trains. Truline Trains was a struggling company. Many other modelers, like myself, we suggested and hoped that Rapido would have jumped on it, being that Truline Trains was also a Canadian company. So this would have been a shoo-in for Rapido. Now, unlike other modelers, what they've done with the engine, I've added the depth to the grills or whatever, because once you purchase the engine right out of the box, they pretty much, if anything, many of my Atlas engines, and I purchased my engines with DCC and sound. But then I turn around and now I got to do body work, on several of them. I basically did a Frankenstein maneuver with the GP40 that Atlas had came out with some time ago. However, it has its merits. Excuse me, don't worry, the table's soft, so ain't nothing break. It's pretty durable. Just like, Truline Trains, it has its merits. The doors on both the engineer and the conductor side, do open and close. So if you want to put a figure, sticking out if they're doing switching duty, you can do that. The rear end, the undercarriage is pretty much see-through. It's well detailed, your battery box, air tanks and stuff on the engineer side, detail for the fuel outlets, gauges and everything is, that's nice and crisp. The lettering is crisp and legible, from what we see. The American flag, the number, for the roster number 418, and the corporate logo, the agency logo to the back, is, those right there legible, as well as the builder's plate on both sides. On the front, behind the F, you got the Motor Power Industries logo at the bottom, sanding brackets, front and back, access to the engine house, the ladder right there. I put the brake chain on the side and stuff, and there was silver brake chain. I wasn't having it and stuff to make it look toy. You have to install it yourself, so I went on ahead and did that and installed it myself. So, now the engine and stuff, as you can see, the undercarriage pretty basic, but it's enough to get the job done. So again, the scale chain on the side I have to put on my own. Once again, it's going to be a project on its own, and I'll show it on a later date. More than likely to be on Facebook, when I do put the actual true steel wheel on there. I do have some parts for that. I have it and stuff in it was in my trailer, but we had a train accident. So, I'd have to go and do some housekeeping, because fortunately the trailer was not badly damaged, just a lot of stuff kicked around when the car bulldozed, all the trailers. I'm satisfied, and again, I'm not gonna gripe about it. Oh, the couplers and the stuff, man, are at the actual correct height. The engine can pull, you know what I'm saying, a lot better than what Truline trains did. And I'm not, really downing so much Truline trains, and I had the Truline trains version of the MP-36. And the way I saw it, it was, it was light, fragile. Atlas, they did a little bit of justice, a little more durable. We could only wonder what the cars are going to be like, you know what I'm saying? And then Rapido coming out with their version with the Winnebago and the gallery cars. So I'm going to have, again, just like I did with the Metro North, I usually get 2 train sets, because these are heavily populated cities. Besides, when I start the weather, because I'm going to weather this engine, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to heavily weather it, but, I'm going to look at, like I always do, prototype pictures, and I'm going to go by that. Okay, again, first, Metro, when they ordered their MP Express locomotives, okay, there was the MP-36-3S, which they had a static inverter and stuff at first, okay, which the engine, the power, the head and power came directly from the prime mover. So you had to run the engine at a higher RPM. Well, you know what I'm saying, in order to preserve fuel, okay, lower fuel consumption and lessen the wear and tear on the prime mover, they went on ahead and rebuilt the engine and added a head and power generator. Okay, so that way, you know what I'm saying. So now they all have MP-36-3C. Okay, rather than being a unique static inverter. Okay, so that's pretty much all I gotta say about this locomotive. I mean, it's a typical commuter engine. I don't have a problem with it. I'm gonna make the best of it and enjoy it. Okay, when it does, and when I do, model, the Union Station. Okay, and hopefully somebody will come out with the superliners. Okay, because superliners because of course I'm going to do the California Zephyr as well as the Southwest Chief and the City of New Orleans. I do have the Amtrak ALC 42 Chargers and the SE 44s for the Horizon Fleet coaches as well as the Venture coaches. And I do my own freelance stuff, railway, okay, which is the LTAPC. Okay, so that right there, pretty much I've replaced much of my equipment, okay, from Warthers to Rapido. Okay, so that right there. So yeah, I use I use Rapido. You know what I'm saying? So, and well, because the cars don't derail. Yeah, the cars don't derail. So, I mean, this is all I gotta say. You know what I'm saying? And I custom paint my trains. You know what I'm saying? And right there is the Night Gale. Yeah, the Night Gale. And that's pretty much what I gotta say. I'm not gonna harp about it. It's pretty much a somber day. I gotta, bid farewell to a friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, he lost his battle to cancer. So, I'm gonna take this time. Usually I'm out the door, okay, and then heading over, to go ahead and get some rest in the bed. But I said I was going to go ahead and pay my respects. Then from there, I'm going to come back here. All right, so for YouTubers, still like, subscribe, like it, bump it, dump it, write it, whatever. And for Facebook, you already know what it is. All right, so Instagram, you already know what it is. Okay, you reach it. Okay, tell me your thoughts. And I'm out.